And happy Sunday. So we're very excited today. We're gonna have special guest Algo 382. We're gonna have Paul with us, and for 3 days this week, we're gonna be talking about Elliott Wave. We're gonna talk about it tonight. We're talking about it tomorrow. And we're talking about Wednesday too, and we're gonna go over kind of some intro stuff. Today we're gonna talk about impulsive waves. Tomorrow we're gonna talk about corrective waves, and Wednesday we're gonna talk about finding setups intraday. Let me get this tweeted out right here so everybody can join in. And Paul, if you want to tweet that out on your end too, go ahead.
Sounds good.
So everybody can join in. And Paul, if you want to tweet that out on your end too, go ahead. Let's see.
Sounds good.
So everybody can join in. Okay, sounds good, sounds good. So, hey guys, real quick, I want to do a quick sound check right here. If anybody, Rocky, Longtran, good to see you guys. Can you guys hear Paul coming through the broadcaster? I want to make sure it's coming through okay. 1 second. Paul.
Hey, this is Paul from Colorado, testing out the system.
Can you guys hear Paul? Jameis, you can hear Paul? Sweet. Awesome.
All right.
Good stuff. All right, good. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through. Awesome. Great, guys. This is good. The broadcasters work. Yay. YouTube is working. Awesome. So good stuff. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through all the admin stuff, and then I'll do we'll check out the market, and then we'll start learning about Elliott Wave with Paul. So it should be good stuff. So let's get started here. So again, today we got Paul joining us here, Algo 382. And today we're going to be going live for 3 days this week talking about Elliott Wave. And we may actually, if people like it, we may do a regular show on like Sunday night and just talk about Elliott Wave. So that's a possibility coming forward. So Paul's been and Paul will introduce himself a little bit. I'll ask him some questions, things like that. But Paul's been with our group for almost 2 years, and has just become a great part of our community. And we've recently opened up a Discord, and he's got a whole Elliott Wave channel in there, and is really putting some great charts up intraday and helping us kind of see things from an Elliott Wave perspective for finding entries. So I think you guys will find this series really helpful. He's going to go through some charts, and today we're going to talk about impulsive waves. Tomorrow we're going to talk about corrective waves, and then Wednesday we're going to talk about how to kind of apply it, practically for trading, not only day trading but also swing trading. So anyway, before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick take and show where we left off with the market on Friday, and then let me actually get this pulled up. So that was so Friday was the 9th. So I've already got this week's pulled up here. Give me 1 second here. So October the 9th. So you can see the different levels that we use there. And then we'll take a look at the futures and see what we got going into tonight, what we might be expecting going into tomorrow, and then we'll go through the topic. Then we'll introduce Paul, and we'll start to talk about Elliott Waves tonight. And normally we take a ton of chart requests, but since Paul is with us, he's willing to do some chart requests here tonight. We kind of want to limit it a little bit, so we may only do like 10. We'll see how it goes here tonight. So if we don't do the normal lightning round that we do through all the charts, just bear with us when we do that, okay? So let's get started. Let me just go through the market right here. So I've got SPX pulled up right here. Inside month so far, but the month is turning green. We're pushing towards the upper Bollinger Band right here. So again, we've been pretty bullish here going into this month, but it wasn't easy, right? The key levels, you see this line right here, is this line right here. We really wanted to get over these drop zones right here, right? We had a big upper shadow right here this week, big upper shadow here this week. This was a tough level to get above. It also happened to correspond to the closing level of this week. See how those levels all play out? We had the Cloud Canyon right here, which kind of got the volatility started, and we talk a lot about Elliott Wave here, and really what this was looking like to us was a corrective wave off of a large impulsive wave up since the Corona crash. And to us it probably looks like a wave 4, and the reason we say that is it follows a zigzag type pattern right here, which is an impulsive move down, an ABC move, and then another impulsive move down, and that kind of wraps things up. The beauty of the whole thing is that this was contained by a corrective channel. Most waves are contained by channels, and once we kind of once the SPX kind of poked its head over this corrective channel right here, that showed us that possibly this corrective wave was done. And then we gapped above it. We had a lot of low volume days right here, so we were assuming that this was the start of a wave one, and we might see more of a corrective wave down. But the longer you hold the gap, right, the more solid it becomes, right? And so it's not that it won't get tested eventually, but right now we're just kind of following this wave up right now. So we're going to see how it goes. This could be part of a larger impulsive wave up, and I'm sure Paul will take a look at it here with us tonight. And but it is looking pretty strong right here. This could be part of a sub-impulsive wave right here. We might see a pullback over the next couple days to maybe fill this gap and then push higher. But ultimately, it looks like we're impulsing up. So if this continues, right, we may get to all-time highs. Now, it's certainly a volatile season right now, and one tweet can send the market down like this, right? And so so we do have a lot to contend with, with news, with the elections coming up, things like that. So with stimulus and all that stuff. So, but again, when has it not been like this, right? There's always news. There's always things like that. So we try to keep a system in place that where we can at least trade with some general systems, right, with Elliott wave, right? So let's take a look at what happened there on Friday. So let's just kind of take a look here. So we were generally leading bullish on Friday. So we caught a great trade, and I tweeted it out to members, in the public group, and of course to our group. I posted the entry. But we were really bullish on this when the news came out where Kudlow was saying that that we're getting close to a stimulus plan. It was just perfect because we were leaning bullish anyway, right? Not necessarily because we were going up, but overall in the day, the fact that we gapped up and we never filled this gap, right? This is the chance for them to do it right here off of this upper shadow, and they couldn't do it. So basically, everybody was kind of net long overnight, and that just kind of continued it up here, and that gave us a great move. Now, did we chop for the rest of the day? Yeah. I mean, was it a super trend day? No. But did we get trade here? Yeah. So I mean, that's for a Friday. That's a pretty good deal. So these are the levels here that we provide to our members before each market open. You can see how valuable those were. We finally got over this the top resistance area off of our main levels right here, and it really tried to push right here. You notice how it kind of hung out there for the majority of the day. Gave a nice little pop here, came down, and then popped at the close. So good stuff. So let's take a look at the futures and see what they're up to here tonight. So so happy Sunday evening. We're down about 4 points right now, but not too big a deal. Kind of the big stuff that we were looking at going in Friday. One, these are essentially our supply and demand zones. We like to call them signal zones because they really help us out there. They signal us to potential moves. Once we push into the signal zone here, that's where the news happened. This is where we went long. It was an old signal zone and it was a big one. But we ended up, once we started to thrust through there, it was a great trade here to get to the next signal zone up. Right, we found a lower resistance right there, came back down, tested the levels, and then they popped it after hours. Actually, they made it a little bit tough. We were hoping we'd get one of those moves intraday, and we just didn't get it. So we ended up capitalizing on this move right here, which is really good. And we kind of saw this maybe, kind of bull flaggish. It was a little bit big to be a flag, but it did kind of start things going. And once we cleared these levels right here, we got into that signal zone with that news. That was a good trade off of that. So a little bit of a pop here overnight. We do seem to be chopping in these levels. So all I'm going to do right now going into tomorrow is put a couple of geometric lines on here that we can track going into tonight to see if these hold, and we'll just kind of see how these hold up going into tomorrow. Right, this is a really tight here to put a geometric line on. So let's just see how these hold going into tonight, and we'll go from there. So good stuff. So once again, anybody who's just joining in here, we've got tonight. We've got special guest Paul Algo382 joining us from Colorado. And Paul, like I said, has been with our group for a while. And now that we have a Discord, he's got his own Elliott Wave channel there, where he's focusing mostly on posting Elliott Wave counts and setups for members, and sharing his ideas, which is really great. And there's a link in the YouTube description. Make sure you check that out. It's a special link for Paul, where you can join his Elliott Wave channel, and it definitely supports him. So if you're interested in joining the group and joining our Discord after this week or after any of these days, definitely check that link out in there. And of course, check out his Twitter, which is @algo_382, where he's also got those links posted there as well. So good stuff. So Paul's with us here tonight. So really appreciate you being here, Paul. If you want, you can kind of just maybe tell everybody how long you've been messing with Elliott Wave. I know it's been for a while, and why you like Elliott Wave so much. Let's what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer the screen share over to you, and leave it up to you here to talk. So everybody said they could heard you a little bit earlier. So if you want to go ahead and let's start talking Elliott Wave. Like I said, tonight we're going to talk about impulsive waves. So let's see what you got to say. Let's see what we got. So we're excited.
All right. Hey, thanks, John. I appreciate it. Um, been into Elliott Wave quite a while. My first time trying to use it was in 2008. Can't say that went too well, and I took a break from it. But the last 5, 6 years been really getting back into it and helping people out with trades and setups. What we're going to look at today is some impulsive waves, some 5-wave moves. Let's see here. Right now we're looking at Google,
So real
and I
quick
can see this.
for everybody joining in, like what is an impulsive wave? What's what does that mean?
Yeah, what's an impulsive wave? An impulsive wave is usually something that's going close to straight up or straight down, and it's going fast. It's not choppy. It's more it's more steep and breaks down into 5 waves also.
Awesome. And so like so with it so basically so you're looking at there on Google, you're looking at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Now,
Right, I'm looking at the blue numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're just starting wave 3. Yes,
so each impulsive wave can be broken up into smaller impulsive waves, right?
right, 5 waves. Yep. On right here we can see red wave 1 coming down for 2, 3, 4, and we'll finish with 5.
And that would finish the blue wave 3, right?
Correct,
Nice.
correct.
Nice.
And yeah, there's a lot of subwaves. Wave 3 breaks down into 5 waves. The wave 3 on that breaks down into 5 waves, um, pretty much for infinity. But right now we are going up in wave 3.
Nice. Yeah, it looks good there. So, like I said, tomorrow we're going to talk more about corrective waves. Now, the wave 2 and the wave 4 are corrective, right? And there's different types of corrective waves that are out there. Just what we looked at on Spy. Can you show Spy before we get into Google a little bit more?
Yeah, I
And
think I
just
have
kind of
SPY
yeah, because
floating
I was
around
looking at that
here.
zigzag. I was kind of pointing out that zigzag move. Um, I just wanted to see what your perspective was on that big move down that we had. So I'm seeing an ABC there. We'll talk about it more tomorrow.
Okay, here's SPY. We got the big zigzag. It's a wave 4, which breaks into 3 waves. A, B, C. It's a corrective structure, but pretty recognizable. It's a zigzag, which is pretty common.
Nice. And we'll definitely talk about that more tomorrow. But the A and the C of a zigzag are going to be impulsive waves, right?
Right.
Yeah.
They A breaks down into 5 and C breaks down into 5.
Got it.
Yep.
Nice. So
Yep.
right now it looks like on Spy that we're working on a larger impulsive wave up. Right now that potential wave 4 is done.
Right. It looks like we had a wave 1, which breaks down into 5, and then a couple 1, 2s, and we're headed up in an impulsive wave 3 right now in purple.
Nice. Yeah, that looks that wave 3 would take us up to all time highs.
It sure would. Yep.
Awesome. Cool. Sorry. Yeah. So how's Google looking? So it looks like that we're working on impulsive waves. So how does that work? So a lot of folks are like, okay, well, how do we know it's going to go that way, right? So it's basically from what I've seen is that it's based on convention, right? So we use a lot of Fibonacci's to estimate where we could be going, right? And so that helps us a
Right.
lot too. So the whole point is once we can tell what kind of wave we're in, right? Once we can start to see impulsive moves to the upside and things are breaking out, for instance, out of channels, things like that, we can make an assumption. Now, the thing about Elliott Wave is it's not guaranteed, right?
Right. Right. It's just probabilities. We look for the most probable counts.
Exactly, exactly. I love it.
Let's see here. Let me go to another screen here.
Sure, yeah.
Let me find something that has a good extension on it. Let's see here. Queens. Okay, here's the cues. Kind of a similar pattern to SPX. We have an ABC wave 4, and then we have this wave 1 coming up here in the corrective wave 2.
So if
if you wanted to
everybody
see,
can see that, right? That wave one. So the way Elliott waivers kind of break things down, right? Is like you can't just put ones and twos like all over the place, otherwise it's a mess. So Paul is like really, really organized with how he does his charts. They're very, very clean, right? And a lot of times there's all sorts of conventions that are out there where you can make like little ones and then little, but I really like how Paul does it. Because right now he's got, see how that one there at the top of that five there at the top of the cloud, and this is a 3 hour chart. That one and that first impulsive move up is in parentheses. So that's how Paul can track these of what, bigger picture he's looking at, right? So he's saying that's a wave one up, and then your wave two down, blue in parentheses. And then what you can do is you can change the colors of the and the size of the subwaves, right? So wave one, that in parentheses, that blue and in parentheses, you can see it's got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 off of that in black, right? So that shows us that that's an impulsive wave. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and wave one is done. And so after that, right, it brings you down to wave two in parentheses right there. And now we're looking at potentially this red wave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which would take us up to big parentheses 3. Is that,
right,
am I saying that? Yeah, Paul does a great job of organizing this stuff.
right. And we used the Fibonacci extension to get where wave three is going to go. It's basically going from the bottom of wave one to the top to the bottom of wave two, and the extension comes in at about 308.20 for wave three. So that's our goal.
Nice. And guys, on Wednesday we're going to talk a little bit more about kind of practical setups, things like that, and how we look to trade these intraday and how we would apply these charts even on an intraday time frame, right? Because like the cool part about it is if you know that you're in, or at least again, like I said, that we don't ever really know for sure, right? It's always based on probabilities and assumptions, right? So I mean, because you could have Elliott waivers that we could be looking at this right now, and somebody could be saying we're in a bearish count. This thing's going down, right? We're ready for another massive move down in the market, right? There could be a count there. Sometimes there's counts that there's no other counts, and if there's no other counts, it's very, very reliable. The probability that they work out is much better, right, Paul?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yep.
It,
When you can see a wave two retrace exactly to 618 or a wave four retrace to 382, it gives you a good idea that you're in the right count in an impulsive wave up.
Yeah, this Fibonacci is really play out well. So when you're in the impulsive wave up, we would look for on a smaller time thing. I think somebody mentioned in the chat about fractal. So when we're day trading off of these, and we'll talk more about this on Wednesday, when we're day trading this on the smaller time frame, there's going to be subwaves in there too. So if we can catch, what do we want to trade, Paul? What are the? I mean, you can trade anything, but based on my understanding of Elliott wave, we really want to catch, because sometimes it's hard to know if you're in a wave one, but sometimes like you said, you can tell. But if wave one makes sense and wave two makes sense, we really want to catch wave three, right?
Right. Right. Wave three is the big one. That's what we want to catch. Wave twos usually retrace about 61%. But it comes down to counting the corrective waves in an ABC. Another wave we like to trade is wave five, because wave four is usually a triangle. So it's a very easily identifiable pattern. You get a triangle, wave four, you're likely going to get a wave five up. And because it's recognizable, that's a good one to trade.
Nice.
Trying to think of a triangle. Let's see.
Now, there's lots of rules and guidelines in Elliott Wave. So if anybody ends up joining our group, right, in the welcome email, Paul's got a link to be able to get the Elliott Wave book with that. And in there it lists like all the rules and the guidelines and things like that. So, it's like a textbook, but it really is helpful stuff. I mean, we use it as a reference all the time.
Right. Yep, a lot of rules and guidelines. Let's see. I'm just going to bring up Zoom here because that's a triangle. We were just talking about it. If that's visible.
Yep, I see that.
Okay. So Zoom, we finished wave three right here, and then we had a ABCDE triangle, and you can see we're just starting an impulsive move out of the triangle. Let me go to a smaller time frame here, 2 hours. So you can see we were A, B, C, D, E for the triangle, and the impulsive move up was a wave one, which also breaks down into five waves. We've got one, two, three, four, five, and we should continue up with Zoom.
Nice. We haven't hit that yet, right? We haven't hit wave one yet, right?
We're basically finishing wave four of wave one, right?
Nice.
In the box. Yep.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, a lot of folks are looking at this triangle right here. Now it makes sense. If you can zoom out a little bit on Zoom, no pun
Yeah,
intended, just to
let me
show
get,
how we got to wave four,
okay, let's
how we
see.
got to the triangle, so everybody can
Yeah,
see that. Because we're talking
yeah,
about
let's see.
impulsive waves, so we had to get there somehow, right? And the only way you can
Right,
get there in an impulsive wave is through one, two, three, four, five.
right. And you can see the impulsive wave three here because it's really steep.
There it is.
That's an easy way to identify a wave three. There's also usually gaps, even though there's no gaps in this one. But wave three is usually the longest, so it's easy to identify. And then we have the triangle wave four, easy to identify. Wave one is the leading diagonal, also easy to identify. So if you can identify the shapes and the patterns in the waves, you get an idea where you are in the count.
Nice. I love this stuff. It's really neat.
Yeah. Yeah, wave fours are tricky sometimes. This one took a little extra time. It went into a WXY, but it's still an identifiable pattern, and we can see, yep, we're on an impulse up currently.
That's great. So let's see how that follows. So the only there's like we said, there's rules and guidelines. So the only tricky part with wave five, that's why we really like wave three. Now wave three, one of the rules of Elliott wave, we've talked about this before on the live streams, but the big rules of Elliott wave, right, is that wave three is never the shortest impulsive wave, right? Wave
Right,
one doesn't. Wave four doesn't intersect wave one, right?
right.
And
Yep.
uh, and what's the other rule? The other big one.
The other rule about impulsive waves, well, they break down into five waves. There shouldn't be any overlapping unless they're a leading diagonal.
Yep. Oh, and
Um,
wave two will never intersect and will never cross below the start of wave one. Those are the big rules of Elliott wave.
right.
But
Yep.
sometimes there's exceptions, like you said, like leading diagonals, right? So it takes this as learning Elliott wave overnight is not gonna happen. you know,
Yeah.
it's a but the more you get, the better you get at it, right? And the more time you have to dedicate to it, you can really start to see this stuff, and it's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Zoom break out, but it's interesting, right? Because when you know Elliott Wave, right? I get chart requests a lot on Zoom. Is it going to break out right here? It's like is it going to break out right here? Well, right? If you so when we talk tomorrow about corrective waves, we'll be like, well, has it finished? A recognizable ABC, right? And if we're possibly in a wave four, it's like, well, has it finished the triangle yet? And then have we broken out of the triangle yet? I mean, right now we're getting close.
Right, right, right. We're getting close.
So what else? What else is impulsing right now?
Okay, well, wave one on Zoom is also an impulse. You can notice there's a big gap here. Usually, if I'm looking at a chart, some of the first things I see are the gaps or the triangles, and that helps you get in the wave count and figure out what's wave one, wave two, wave three, wave four. And for zigzags, we can usually see the zigzag shape. But wave one here is an impulse. We got one, two, three, and then wave. This whole part here is the big impulse
Mm.
right there.
Yep. And that fits the rules, even though wave 5 is bigger than wave 3 there, the purple ones. Even though wave 5 is bigger than wave 3 is not the shortest wave because wave 1 is shorter than wave 3.
Right. And
Perfect.
then we get this corrective wave two. It comes down in at about 50%
Looks like a zigzag on that one too. Impulsive corrective
Yep,
wave.
because it's so deep. Yep.
This is kind of cool stuff too, guys, because when you get into this, because Elliott wave in a lot of ways is predictive, right? Because we assume that we're going to break out of this wave 4 triangle and get into wave 5. So if this really is making a larger impulsive move up, what does that mean, for the rest of the market, right? I mean, why would Zoom keep on going? Does that imply that more people are going to be working from home, right? That type of thing, right? So it kind of gives you this. It can help us give a better perspective of the market too.
Right. Right. One thing I like is wave one. It's usually impulsive, but right here we do have some overlap, but it's an easy identifiable 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A five-wave move called a leading diagonal, so we know wave one is complete. And then we look for a wave two to retrace to a certain point, and then we get our impulsive wave three up. So if you can identify the shapes and the patterns and the fibs, you can know what wave you're in for a trade.
That's awesome. I love it. And once we know what wave we're in, like you said, it's easier to trade. Then we just then since everything is fractal, all we got to do is get counts on a lower time frame. Look for entries.
Right. Right, the lower time frame. Yep, our favorite. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
I like
Yeah.
zoom off of that 1 hour cloud too. That's looking pretty cool.
Yeah. Cloud bounce here and here.
So good stuff. Awesome, Paul. I really appreciate it. What else? So what are you looking at? What are you kind of stalking right now? I know you had Google pulled up first. Um,
Let's see. Let's look at DKNG maybe. Let's see
oh
here.
yeah.
See what DKNG looks like. Okay.
A lot of folks are talking about DKNG because there's a lot of what's going on out there. Corona, right? We're getting a lot of sports teams that are, folks are testing positive, delaying games, and DKNG is all about like sports betting, right? So if there's a football game not going on, right, people aren't going to be betting on it. So likely there won't be as much revenue for DKNG, but we can't get too involved in the chatter, right? We really want to. These Elliott waves can really help us see what might be going on here. So what's going on DKNG?
Right. So what we have is a big wave three impulse starting down here at the channel, and then we come up to wave three. Wave three also breaks into five waves. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you can count the waves and see where you are on the way up. And it looks like we topped out here, and we're working on a correction, which is an ABC. Wave C is impulsive, even though it's corrective. It's a straight down five-wave move, and we're looking for a bounce out of this box. And that'll help us know when the start of wave five is. Because this is a long wave here, it's probably a zigzag versus a flat or a triangle. But we just have to watch it and wait and see what it develops into, what kind of wave.
Yeah, I totally agree on that one. We're definitely tracking this one for sure.
Yeah, so everyone wants to know, when do we get back in DKNG? Well, pretty soon.
Right. Yeah. We're definitely
Yeah.
stalking it. Nice. What else are you looking at?
One that we were looking at was GDX. That was a fun one.
GDX is a
Uh,
tricky one. I
yeah.
saw read out there. GDX is a tricky one for sure.
Okay, this one was on our watch list, and I liked it because we had our classic wave 5 leading diagonal and a perfect 61% retrace for wave 2, letting us know that we should be getting a wave 3 impulse. And you can tell here by the gap that this is definitely an impulsive move, likely wave 1 of a 5-wave move here. So we're going to look for a little pullback here for sub wave 1 to get back into this trade for the wave 3 of 3.
That's awesome. So basically, everything is bullish. We got the market bullish, we got gold bullish, and Zoom is bullish. So it's like, and Zoom is typically
Golden Zoom.
the zombie name, right? Is the stay at home name too, right? But it doesn't mean just because like Zoom is going up, it doesn't mean that the economy is tanking and because everybody's staying at home. It just means that more companies are adjusting, right? I mean, even Microsoft just came out and is like, saying at least half their or people can work at home half the time, I think, or maybe they want all their employees to work from home. And some companies are 100% working from home, like Twitter, I think. So I mean, that has to be good for Zoom. I mean, there's really no competition out there. At least,
Zoom has been great.
yeah.
Let's see. What else do we got here? How about Facebook? Let's see what
Oh
that
yeah.
looks like. Facebook. Okay, Facebook's kind of interesting here. We had a big decline. You can see the ABC corrective structure, and then we're going into an impulse. We had an impulse of wave 1, followed by a corrective ABC, which looks like it bounced right out of the golden zone, right between the 50% and 61%.
I love it, guys. The golden zone is a Paul trademark. A Paul trademark. I love it. So that's basically showing us, it's giving us kind of an area of interest, right, on a retrace.
Right in here between the 50 and the 61%. So what we're hoping here is this impulse wave goes up to its target at 291. So we'll see how this breaks down, but it looks like it started an impulse to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Definitely one to keep on the radar. This week. Let's see what kind of clues we can get. What else?
Yeah.
Anything else you're tracking?
Let's see. I'm
And I know you were looking at
tracking.
Google earlier.
Oh, you want to see Google? Let's see.
Ah,
Let's see.
maybe some folks though. I can't trade Google. I just this is so it's so tough. The spreads have been so rough, and
Here's an off the radar name. Let's see. DPHC has some
DPHC
nice waves in it. Okay. You can see this whole wave here is
is
wave one.
read is
Yeah, like but this is impulsive. You have a real impulsive wave three, corrective wave four, and then a big impulsive wave five of one. So this is all an impulsive move. And then we've had a pullback to wave two, and then another wave two choppy pullback, and we're hoping that we're starting on wave three impulse right here
nice.
in DPHC. Yep. Let's see what else? Bitcoin, Google. Space is a good one.
Everybody asks about space all the time. It's
Everybody
a hot
wants to
one.
see what space is
That gave us
doing.
a great. We had an awesome trade on that. What was it, last Friday? One of
Yeah,
our members
yeah,
pointed out and was like, "Guys, there's some volume coming in space right here. We rocked that one. That was
yeah.
fun."
I think they caught wave five, as I remember. I remember the day wave three happened. Nobody was really expecting it because we were flat for a long time. But we had some good news here. We had a real impulsive wave three. You can tell it's a wave three because of the gap
Yeah,
breaking away from this choppy corrective two.
yeah. We caught the end of that wave five intraday. It was fantastic.
Exactly. Yeah, I
It's like,
remember
okay,
that.
I guess we'll go in space.
And it's nice to see the wave almost hit its 6.618 extension for wave five. And right now we should be retracing into the box somewhere.
Okay, so we're looking at a potential pullback right there. Well, yeah, we'll talk about those corrective moves a little bit more tomorrow for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see.
Well, good stuff, man. If there's anything else you want to share, we'll definitely take a look at it. Otherwise, I'm happy to go through and see, if we can maybe, if you've got time to look at some chart requests out there, stuff like that. It's up to you.
Yeah, let's go for some chart requests.
Okay,
That'd be
great
good.
guys. Well, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in here this evening. So I'm really excited, happy to have Paul here. Again, lots of experience and phenomenal charts. Anybody that follows him on Twitter knows that he's become a lot more active in the Discord as well. Keep in mind too, if you want to jump in the Discord, check out the link in the description. It's got a link to Paul's sign up area, so you can join with him. He stays very active most of the time during the day, and we'll even help do custom counts. You just got to give him some time because to pull up a quality count takes a little bit right there. But just really does a phenomenal job helping out other members, and we really appreciate it. It helps give us a good perspective on the market and on other names. So good stuff there. So let me go through, guys. Like I said, since Paul's with us here tonight, we're not going to be doing as many chart requests just because of the time factor, and we respect Paul's time over there as well. So what we're going to do is we can kind of pick and choose a couple of these out here tonight, and obviously once we go back on Tuesday, Paul's going to be busy, so I'm going to be doing the show by myself, and so I'll be able to do the lightning round like I normally do. But let's go through a couple of these right here. They're looking pretty interesting. Shirley sent out a few. Again, everybody, thanks for keeping Shirley in your thoughts and prayers as she gets better all the time. And one of these I know we've been looking at in the group a lot recently is Amazon. We've had some members that have done phenomenal with Amazon using Elliott Wave. I think somebody traded it the other day, entered on a Wave 2 pullback at, I believe the entry, the premiums were like $60. I mean, I think it was $60 in the money, and that's expensive. I know every trader is different, right? But I'm just saying. But then they closed them out for like $140, like 2 days later. So I mean, it's just when you can catch these waves, you don't have to trade Amazon to make a ton of money. You could still trade GDX. You could trade 80. AMD. Everybody's portfolio sizes are different, but the wave counts. Depending on what you like to look at, the wave counts really help us find excellent entries. We're going to talk more about finding those entries on Wednesday. But yeah, let's take a look at Amazon for surely.
Okay. Amazon. All right. Looks like you want me to go through it.
Yeah, yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, looks like Amazon finished wave four, and we are in an impulsive move of wave one up, which is coming to an end. We have waves one, two, three. The corrective wave four is in this channel. Right now, we're finishing sub wave five, which will finish wave one, likely near our target at the 618. And then we should have a quick pullback for wave two, and then a big explosive wave three up.
That'd be wild. So do you
So
guys
Amazon looks good. Could have a little more up tomorrow.
So you guys see how powerful like Elliott Wave is, right? So I mean, there's a lot of naysayers on Elliott Wave out there, but when you see this stuff work all the time, right? Now, occasionally stuff doesn't play out, and we just didn't have the right count on it, right? I mean, that just happens, but it
Yeah.
gives us so much more. Because look at that Wave Two pullback right there, or I'm sorry, the Wave Four pullback, the red Wave Four pullback on AMD. I'm sorry, on Amazon. I mean, look at that. It's going down. You got three red candles in a row. Like most people would be like, that's a short, right? But but in a lot of ways, we can actually buy that weakness, and you can even see that third candle was low volume too. So is what we've talked about before is a low volume fake out, right? So you can even confidently in that zone look to buy, right, in that area, and then sorry if my mouse is going over there. You can look to buy in that area and then just have a stop below the 618, and be like, okay, well, it takes out the 618, then it might not be the wave 4 pullback that we were expecting, right? That type of thing. So it's really cool stuff.
Right. And notice that wave CO4 bounced right out of the golden zone, right between the 50 and the 618.
Love it. You don't have to buy the bottom, right? So you can actually buy, and we'll talk about it more on Wednesday. But
Yeah,
you could look at when it confirms out of it, right? And because if we're expecting an
right.
impulsive wave, we're expecting 5 waves up.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
Cool. Awesome. Good. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, Shirley. I appreciate that one. Let's go through. We are Nudie Poo. We looked at DKNG already. Rocky's got one out there for GSX. This is kind of an under the radar name too.
GSX.
And you may not have a count on it yet, but if you have at least an interpretation of it, I'm sure Rocky would
See what
appreciate
it
it.
looks like. GSX. Let's see here.
Oh, look at that.
All right. Put it on a 4-hour here. 4-hour. Okay, so it looks like we do have an impulsive move up here. This is probably either a wave 1 or a wave 3. Probably a 3, 4, and this could be working on a 1, 2. We're going up in the impulsive wave 3. To see if that was right, I might look at the fibs to see where the fibs come in. We had a 50% retrace, so there's a good chance that this is a 1, 2, and we're working on 3 up here.
Nice.
Is that about what you're seeing, John? Or?
Yeah, it looks pretty good. So just keep in mind, just because we're in an impulsive wave 3, this is my mouse right here. I don't know if anybody can see it, but just because we're in impulsive wave 3, it looks like it too. Because this looks like a little 1, 2, 3. So just be careful, right? We might see a wave 4. Right, and then a wave 5 push, right? So sometimes it's tough, but I do like the pause candle right there. So good. That looks good. Nudie Poo, we looked at DKNG. I saw a couple of requests out there for Neo, but one on here, Christian put one out there for AMD. Can we take a look at AMD? It's one of my favorite ones to trade, but it's in a funky pattern right now, and it pulled back on Friday on the Xilinx news, right?
Oh yeah, okay. This is another one we're watching for a bounce out of the box. Let's see, 3-hour. So we had our impulsive move up here. We had a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but in that 5, there's also a 5 wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right in here. And now we're doing a correction back into the fib area to the 50.
Nice pullback on that one. Good stuff. Thanks, Christian. Yeah, we're live. Jameis, thanks again for tuning in. Good. Glad everybody can hear everything. Eddie, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Chaitanya, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. ZEK, I know you got a bunch right here, but let's take one of those. That's looking pretty interesting. We already looked at a gold name already. Banks are looking interesting going into earnings season, but let's take a look at Intel, INTC. That has a huge gap above. What is Elliott Wave looking like on that one?
Let's see. INTC up. I got it. Let's see here. INTC. One day. Okay. Looks like we've done a big corrective move here. Some kind of A, B, C. It's hard to tell if we're in an uptrend yet. A, B, C,
It's
A,
tricky.
B, C, A, B, C. It's possible that we could have a one. Let me just grab these numbers out here. We could be doing something like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Let's see what this retrace is. Okay, so we got to retrace a little bit past the 618, kind of a golden zone retrace here for wave 2. So it could be possible that this is the end of an ABC and this is the beginning of an impulse up. We do have a higher low here and a higher low here, so possible impulse up for INTC.
Nice. Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of nice, strong days recently for it, and it's finally getting into that big gap. So that's a lot of these big names, especially like Intel, that gap down and kind of chop for a while. It makes sense, right? That it's that it could be kind of corrective, but that'd be interesting to see if it's impulsing out of there. Good stuff.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mike, what's going on? Good to see you. IAA. Let's take a look at that one.
IAA sounds like a new one. Let's see.
I don't think I've messed with that one.
What's a new one? Let's see. IAA.
Is it a?
Sure, well, here it is.
There you go.
Let's see, one day. I would say this looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is probably wave 1. It looks kind of like a leading diagonal. We've got some overlap. We have a corrective ABC for wave 2. And this is likely the beginning of an impulsive big wave 3.
Yep. Nice. Good find on that one.
Above the, yeah, that looks like a fun one.
Nice. The Nest, what's going on? I know you got a lot of those out there. Let's focus. I'm just gonna pull up one of those to see if Paul doesn't mind looking at it there. So we like to look at this one too. Chewy. Let's take a look at Chewy.
Chewy, oh no, that's a winner. Let's see, Chewy. Chewy. I had it on here. Hold on.
There you go.
I had it at the bottom.
Big day on Friday.
I don't have this one out, but this is an ABC and we're starting an impulse up right there. I have this on my other software.
Nice.
This is a corrective ABC here, and this is just the start of an impulse going up, just starting to poke through the cloud and above the EMA 8.
Nice. Cool, yeah. So definitely keep an eye on Chewy. Heather's out there tonight. Good stuff. Well, we can't go through chart requests, and the Nest has one of these too. We can't go through chart requests without looking at Apple.
Apple.
Now, Apple's got a show this week, right? Don't they have like a tech show on like the 13th or something like that?
I think Wednesday. I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so let's see. What that's up. It had a nice little breakout there, a little triangle, shorter term time frame triangle breakout on Friday. Bull flag looks like you got on there.
Yeah, we had a bull flag for wave 2, exactly.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh,
and we broke out of the flag. It looks like we're an impulsive wave 3 up, targeting about 121.
Well, that'll make a lot of members happy. That's good.
Yeah, this is what we're shooting for. Once we came out of the box, we were pretty confident that we were in an impulsive move up.
So let's see if it does what Apple likes to do. Let's see if it runs up into its tech event, and then if they sell the news, which it likes to do, and that could give us the wave 4. Cool.
Yep.
I love it. Nice. Good stuff. Thanks, Heather. What else? I know, yeah, Paul is the GOAT. I love it. And yes, waves are fractals, right? So just a quick review, anybody who kind of missed this, right? Every impulsive wave, it can be broken up into another impulsive wave, right? And tomorrow we'll talk about corrective waves, and every corrective wave can be broken up into a corrective wave. So we got that going on there. So Jay, we got Jay Taylor, we got AMD we already looked at, and I think this is a good one to take a look at. I know you've been tracking it a little bit, Paul. Workhorse.
Workhorse. Oh yeah, let's see here. Everyone's playing Workhorse. Let's see. Workhorse. Oh, another Golden Zone special here.
Nice.
Let's see. Okay, so Workhorse had a beautiful, nice, impulsive wave 1 up. You can see the subwaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we had this straight down corrective wave two, probably an ABC zigzag, another wave two, and we bounced out right between the 618 and the 786. And I can tell this is impulsive because it's almost straight up, kind of giving it away that we are an impulsive move for workhorse.
Nice.
And the wave three target is $36.
That's awesome. Good. Let's keep an eye on
You
that one.
get that target by measuring wave one, coming back down to wave two, and then it's projected from wave two. It's 161% of wave one.
Nice. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I got a question out there, Paul. So, C. Benoit said, can you go over the bearish algo zone you have marked?
The bear. Okay, yeah, that would be SPY, I believe. Let's see. Let me just bring it up.
Paul likes to chase these algos.
Yeah, almost every major pivot ends up being an algo, and price always seems to stop or pause at the algo targets. But here's SPY. Let me pull these bearish algos over. Okay, so basically from wave four, we're going up. And these bearish algos are the 618 algos. They're 61% of wave four. So when price gets up to wave four, the bearish algos sell and price usually goes down. However, if price breaks through the 618, that's a very bullish sign. So you break the 618, you're usually going to keep going in that direction. The 786 algos aren't that strong. We usually go right through them. So we look for a break of the 618.
You get like a bounce off the 618.
We could come back down and bounce off it. Yep.
But what are you saying? You're saying like say that again. So are you talking about like a bullish move or a bearish move?
Once price breaks through the 618, which we have, that's bullish, and it implies we're going to keep going because price broke through the bearish 618 algos.
I gotcha. And that's the 618 from the highs.
The 618 is the length of the four.
Got it. So yeah, so
it's the previous wave, which just happens to be wave four.
makes sense. Makes sense. So if anybody's like like for all the bears out there, right, that think the market is going down, right, that 618 was a line in the sand.
Exactly. Yep. 618's line. I usually use the 786 as my stop.
I gotcha.
Let's see if I can get.
So I had there was a comment out there. Christian asked about if you could show like your configuration of how you do your fibs, and I think you just pulled it up there. I think if
Okay, yeah. TradingView is really nice for fibs. They let you go in here and let's see.
Mr. No Name, yeah, nothing is a guarantee, especially in trading, right? But this helps us, right? This is a great guide for us to help find potential targets, potential entries, things like that. I love it. Probability,
Okay.
exactly.
So you can just click on your main ones, the 382, the 50, the 23%, and that gives you the fibs right there.
Nice,
Um,
beautiful.
one tip for using fibs is you want to pull your fibs in the direction that you are measuring, which people ask a lot.
Yeah, I agree. Start with the if you're going down, start at the top, right?
Right.
Yeah,
If you're measuring this way, you go top to bottom.
beautiful, beautiful. Good stuff, guys. Really, really good stuff. Let's do one more chart request, and actually, if you got time, let's do two because I see a couple overlapping chart requests right here, and then we'll see if we got a couple other questions, and then we'll wrap up here. It's already getting kind of late, but one we got to look at is Tesla. Tesla.
Ooh, Tesla. Yeah, Tesla. Let's see. Tesla. All right. Yeah, Tesla's interesting here. Okay. We had this impulsive move up, and then we started this correction, and there's more than one way to count it. It can be counted as a triangle. We got A, B, C, D coming down for E and then up. It could also be counted as a 1, 2, 1, 2, and we're trying to go up from here. You can see.
It's a tricky area. We had an inside week the week before, and
Very tricky.
we finished with an inside day on Friday. So it's a tough one, but I usually lean bullishly on it, because it loves to squeeze out the shorts.
Right. I'm thinking if it stays above the 786 here, we're going up. If we break the 786, we're probably coming down to the triangle.
Nice. And one more if you got time, Paul. Let's take a
Sure.
look at Neo. We've had a lot of requests on Neo out there, so let's
Neo.
take a look at that one.
Oh, Neo's a good one. Let's
Hey,
see.
Kiri, yeah, that's Algo382 joining us here. So really appreciate everybody for tuning in, guys. So it's been a good one. We got a lot of questions out there that we answered. We're going to wrap up here with Neo, and then Paul's going to join us again tomorrow. We're going to talk about corrective waves.
And this chart's kind of messy, but it is a. We did have a triangle working for Neo, and you can see the impulsive move out of it because it's straight up, kind of giving it away that this is a wave one. Then we had a corrective ABC in the box, and we're trying to start an impulse up out of the box, out of the channel.
Nice. They're not making it
So
easy, but it's you can kind of see those waves in there. I like it.
yeah, it's kind of messy, but this wave two retraced 61%. This wave two also retraced 61%, giving us a big clue that we are in an impulse up here.
Nice. Awesome. So let's keep an eye on it, guys. Good stuff, everybody. Well, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening. It's also and really, guys, special thanks. A round of applause for having Algo382 here with us tonight, having Paul here with us, and going over Elliott Wave this week. So he'll be with us tomorrow night and Wednesday night. Tomorrow we're going to talk more about corrective waves. Wednesday we're going to talk a little bit more about grabbing entries. And again, guys, Paul has been in our group for a long time, and he's in our Discord, and he's got a channel that he has the Elliott Wave channel. So he's been a lot more productive on there. He's not doing as much on Twitter because he gets so many questions and chart requests in the Discord itself. So if you guys want to join the group, there's a link in the YouTube description for Trade with Paul. And again, that's a great way to kind of be able to chat with Paul throughout the day and have and he'll work occasionally, if he has time, he'll pull up a chart and try to get a count on it for you. So really appreciate it, guys. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. And Paul, thanks again so much for being here. We really appreciate it. I'm glad everything worked and we didn't have to jump on a
Yeah, that worked good.
awesome, man. And we didn't have to jump on another broadcast and all that stuff. So good stuff, man. I really appreciate it.
Right on. Thanks, John. Good talking to everybody. Hope this helped a little bit. More to come.
Great stuff, guys. Thank you so much. Again, everybody, have a wonderful evening. We'll catch you guys bright and early on the Good Morning Market Prep video here on YouTube. So if you're new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube. And whether you're new here or not, definitely hit the like button. And also be sure to check out those links in the description so you can, if you're interested in joining Paul in our Discord, you can sign up there. So, all right, guys, have a wonderful evening. Stay healthy out there. And remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.